All right, Happy New Year and welcome everyone to No Guts, No Glory Live. This is our first show of the year. I am your host, Patty Zor, and joining me live today is Business Feng Shui Master and author, Kathleen Zemansky. Welcome, Kathleen, to No Guts, No Glory Live.
Well, thank you, Patty. Thanks so much. And it is a very exciting day for me, especially. And yes, Happy New Year to everyone. And if I just might even say that, I actually kind of celebrate a couple of New Years. I do the Western calendar. And then if I mess up on anything that I've set for the year, I've got Chinese New Year just about a month away. So I get to actually celebrate. I get do-overs. Everyone does, though.
I love that. So we have another chance to reset again.
That's right. That's right.
For everyone watching, we are live, so we encourage you to please start a watch party so we can get this message out to all those who need to hear it. My teammate Casey is in the comments and she'll be sending me your questions. So please comment below if you have any questions for Kathleen today. As I mentioned before, on January 2nd, Kathleen launched her book. It is Success Secrets for 2020. Okay, I'm going to start over. Sorry about that. Success Secrets for 2021 Metal Ox, and we will put that link in the chat so you can order it today, and we will get all into the book in just a few minutes. But before we get started, Kathleen, as I said, the name of the show is No Guts, No Glory Live, and we bring on guests just like yourself to come in and share a story about a time in your career that took guts, because we want to help inspire those watching who are perhaps in a career now and they're just not satisfied or feeling fulfilled. And so it is our job today to give them the courage to take that next step to work in a career or find a career that is fulfilling for them. So Kathleen, will you share a time in your career, a story about a time in your career that took guts?
Sure. And I'm going to even start at the very beginning of my career. I was living in Italy thinking I'm going to be there for the rest of my life. I, thought I was in this great relationship, and all of a sudden it wasn't. So I moved back to the United States, and truthfully, I decided to contact a feng shui consultant to help me get my life back on track. So truthfully, within 2 weeks, my life started doing a 180. And it was so profound that I decided to enter into becoming a feng shui master myself. Well, the thing I found out very quickly, high-level feng shui masters, this is a very patriarchal system, and wasn't very welcoming to women. So you may see a lot of, and I do need to also define that I am a classically trained feng shui master, which means I incorporate person, space, time, and universe. So it's a very personalized modality and methodology to help you improve yourself, if you will. But there were some pushbacks. And I'm going to tell you, quote unquote, this just actually came to mind. I was doing interviews myself because I was really trying to get into the core of in essence of what feng shui really was. So I just started contacting masters and to ask them really, why are they doing what they're doing and whatever. And I show up kind of like this. This is kind of how I look, right? And what he said to me, which kind of threw me, was, "You don't look like a Western feng shui consultant." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Well, they're usually frumpy and wearing all flowy clothes and, the tie-dye stuff and, no makeup, no, whatever." Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it was like, this is a profession where I show up and I go to corporations. So right from the very beginning, it was, I don't fit the model. Mm. And I also am a female in a very patriarchal system, if you will. So even today in Asia, we're starting to see where there are more female masters, if you will. And I do have that master distinction. But back when I started 20 plus years ago, It really was not very welcoming to women. And I'm just the type of person that if I want to go after something, I put my mind to it and I go after it. So what I would say to your audience is really kind of like go back and see if there's been any points of your life where someone has said no to you, or someone has said you can't do that because, and you fill in the blank of whatever it is. And if you really want to have a career that you're passionate about, you really have to connect with what you're doing, right? If you're doing it for the money, that's the thing that I think will always take people down, because you'll be dissatisfied. You really won't have an opportunity to serve the people that you want to serve, because you're only thinking about the bottom line versus what is the true essence of what you're serving. So no matter what modality it is. And I would say the other thing is, because of, we're not just looking at maybe a new career, you're also looking at several different skill sets. Because we are moving into a period which might be beyond what we can talk about today, but let's face it, this is our office right now, right? So you really need to pick up your technological skills along with also learning. But you know what? This was told to me also, actually by my oldest sister back in the day. This was why I was doing like term papers or whatever. And she said, you know what? You can only eat an elephant a bite at a time. And that's really a good piece of advice, that the world is your oyster, but yet you have to be very clear and have a clear path. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult for you to achieve what you want.
I love that so much. It's just doing maybe something little every day just to move you closer towards that goal. Just like you said, one little bite at a time, and eventually, right, we'll get there.
And even if you are in a career right now that you don't really care about, just 5 minutes a day, pick up a book, do some research, but do really something that is going to move you closer to your goal and not further away. Because that's the problem with doing research as well. Because sometimes you can go down those rabbit holes, and all of a sudden you're not even researching what you said you were researching, which can lead to breakthroughs as well. But my point is that, you know, have a succinct time to take 5 minutes, then increase it to 10 when you can, and there you go. You're off to the races.
So can you tell us a little more about the true meaning of Feng Shui?
Yes. So, all right, well, let's go back in time as well, because again, Feng Shui was not allowed for the common person. And so we've certainly like had breakthroughs with that, but I'm talking about ancient China. This was only used because it is so empowering when properly implemented. It is for money and power. But how I look at it, which you can kind of make the same assumptions, if you will, it's about achieving your goals. When you set up your space properly and you are in the right vibration of the space, which changes quite often, and we're going into a big shift right now, going into this new year on February the 3rd, that we have these shifts of energy. So what could be good right now, for example, the office that I'm in right now will no longer serve me and what I'm trying to do if I remain here. So I'm going to move to a different location in my space so I can get into that flow. So there's a lot of times where people will ask me, it's like, you know, I don't know, I just feel stuck. And then I'll just move their computer or their desk over literally 4 degrees. And all of a sudden their phone's ringing because they were not in the flow. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's not achieving your goals. If you put on your thinking cap about that, it really, the misconception is about Om and harmony and all of that. Well, that, if you have balance in your life, you're going to have that, but your space is there to serve you and help you achieve your goals.
Now, will it help address some of those issues about the space? Will we be able to identify some things that maybe, you know, I've got going wrong on my desk here or in my space, and then it'll help guide us to make those changes?
Sure, sure. The book itself is about the annual energies, and there is a difference between long-term feng shui and short-term feng shui. So the short-term is 1 year, and let's face it, can you even believe like we're January the 4th, 2021, when just yesterday it seemed like it was 2020, right? So things go by very, very quickly, even though it seemed like forever for that year to get over. But what I do address, because every space is unique and it is always personalized. So we always, always, always start out with what's in your chart. So that's number one. You want to know what you have available to even work with in your personal chart. So your personal chart is your month, day, and hour, your year, and I do mostly business. It in the book, I get a little bit deeper about all of the different pillars, but very quickly, your year is about your marketing. Your month is about your career. Your day is about your partnerships and personal growth, and your hour of birth, if you know it, because sometimes people don't because of adoption or it wasn't recorded. Your hour is about achieving your goals and your legacy, your life purpose. So then take that information and then how does it fit over your space? So again, there's going to be the space that is going to be indicating the vibrant energies that are available and which ones to avoid. Then there's a timing piece, again, personalized, that will help every individual figure out like good days and bad days for themselves. And then the universal gateway piece is, again, personalized to you for you to access universal intelligence. So it really is, your actions are going to be the yang. I'm going to figure out what is good for me to do. I'm going to be working in a certain vibrancy. And then the universal intelligence is going to help you. It is more of a meditative state. That's the more yin side. Okay. That is going to help you access your universal intelligence for you to help make informed decisions, because sometimes we can get our own wires crossed, right? Yes. We let go, right? We let go and allow the universe to also assist us. Wow, you got a package for success right there.
So can you tell us more? So the upcoming new year is the year of the metal ox. Mm-hmm. Therefore, the name of your book, Success Secrets for 2021 Metal Ox. Can you tell us a little more about metal ox?
Sure. All right. Well, I'm going to go back just a little bit. Last year was the metal rat, and it was the beginning of a new cycle. So there's 12 animals. So every 12 years, we go around, and now we're in the second year of the cycle, if you will. And a yin metal, and there's no judgment here, but yin metal is a little bit of elegance and eloquence, and these are the people that wear bright, shiny, objects, but it can be a little bit of drama. So I'm talking more about the year right now. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to flip a switch and everything that happened in this past year is going to go away, unfortunately. And we're going to be riding out this year pretty much the same, obviously, but different. And the difference is we're kind of getting used to more of the sheltering in place. We're getting more used to wearing face coverings, which, by the way, I told people at my annual event last year to do. And people were saying, no, I'm not going to do that. Well, here we are. Because we knew it was coming. We knew that there was going to be super viruses last year, and we know that it's going into this year. So what we have is the ox is a workhorse, but it has a little drama that's going to go along with it. So that's kind of in a nutshell. But by the end of this year, things are going to start ironing themselves out. But truthfully, we are going through this big period shift of there's so many different timing pieces. And that's why it's important to actually follow the annual, because it will help you keep up with the energetics that are happening. So the thing about these big shifts is there's change. And so when you put your mindset to, I need to do something different, I can't do the same thing I've always done, because if you do, you will sink your own boat. If you go, okay, I have to put on a different skill set, possibly. I might need to reach out to my clients in a different way. I might need to pick up, something like what you're doing is, a podcast, a YouTube channel, whatever the case may be, blogging, speaking, whatever the case. Do something different than what you've done in the past to improve upon what you already are doing. Because if you keep doing, this has always worked in the past, you're going to be left behind because time marches on, and so does the energy.
So I think the burning question everybody wants to know is, will 2021 be better than 2020? Now, I know you said there's going to be some change, right? Are we going to have a better year this year?
Better. I would say, yes, it's going to be better. And for the mere reason, when all of the stuff hit last year, and it was, depending on where you were at in the US anyway, globally, it was already happening, obviously, in other parts of the world. But what I think everybody was in shock, right? It was like we were all like deer in the headlights, kind of
yeah.
Right. But now that, we are adaptable beings, right? We had to adapt. And the people that have decided to, pick up a new skill set, like, I did quite a few things in what was called the downtime, which was kind of hysterical to me because I wasn't down at all. I was getting prepared for the very next step. But truthfully, I had already prepared for last year, the year before, and the upcoming years before. So that really is something I want for your listeners to start doing now. Don't wait till February 3rd. Start preparing now for what's coming in February the 3rd. Again, it's not going to be a light switch, but we are still going to have, let's put it this way. Science and astrology we're aligned. We are aligned. We know that we're going to get a handle on this probably mid to late summer. And then from there, we still have other things that we're going to be, dealing with as well. But just do expect a little bit of drama throughout the year. That could be in your personal life, that could be on the political, that could be in the, environment, that we're going to see, still some upheaval through next year. With that said, take a breath and prepare. So get your astrology, get your floor plan ready, and really start making concerted decisions about how you are going to plan out the year. And so to me, adding metaphysics to your business and marketing plan is an amazing addition. It's only going to help boost everything that you're going to do. So instead of panicking, I would say, all right, let's just step back just a little bit, dial it back, and figure out, okay, what can I do? What are some of the steps that I easily can do? And you can do this on a space that is one room as well as a humongous building. So I for people that tell me, oh, I can't do anything because I only have one room or I have built-ins and whatever. But you know what? These puppies are computers. You can go move to a different part of even one room and get into a good vibration. So I don't really fall for, I can't do anything. You don't want to do anything. So there's a difference of that.
So is there anything else you want us to know about the book? And I also want to talk about your event, because it sounds like the event really complements the book. And Casey is putting the links to the book. So if you're interested in purchasing the book, please do so. I cannot wait for my coffee to arrive. So again, check the comments section for the links. But yeah, Kathleen, tell us, what else should we know or can we expect from reading the book?
Sure. Well, a couple of things. One, right now we are in day 3 of a 5-day challenge, which is on Facebook. And really, I'm going through in a little bit more, each day we're going through one component of the book. And so that would be one place that I would tell people to get started, to get their mindset ready for that. And then from there, you are absolutely right. Like, you could buy the book and you could be fine. You could come to my event and you could be fine. But if you get both, I'm telling you, you're going to have a pretty comprehensive understanding, because it's a 2-day live stream event because of the obvious. We're going to go in depth. And one of the things I love about, which I know is unique to me, unless somebody has, taken that idea. But what I do is I go through all of the world trends, what's going to be happening around the world as far as astrological trends. I'll go through all of the 5 elements, the yin and yang of the 5 elements. And that, because you're a compilation of the 5 elements you'll see in your astrology chart. And then we get into a meditative state, and you set your goals based on your astrology. That's very different from, oh, I want to write a book this year. Oh, I'm gonna, this is what's available to you this year. So this is where I want you to set your goals. Not that I'm telling you to stop anything else that you're doing, but why not augment it with what you are in the flow for the year to do? So that's number 1. And then number 2, we also, in day 2, the universal gateway piece is a pretty important piece to really access what I call these guardians that will help you to access, the universal intelligence. And I give at the event, favorable dates to trigger the energy. So it really is a very comprehensive way of looking at the entire year. So I'm pretty darn excited about that, because it really, to me, it's really, especially if you're new to this information, it really will be the first step in making a big shift in a positive way for you.
Can you give us the Facebook handle, and can we catch the replays? Because I definitely want to tune in.
Absolutely. Just go to facebook.com/Kathleen Zemansky. That's, my name. So just go ahead and plug that in for that. And that would be where you're going to go. And we're broadcasting day 3. And we will be on at 4 p.m. Pacific. So just kind of go on one of the, meeting planners to find out which is the time for you. So I try to make it, so it would be reasonable for most people. But there is obviously a replay if you can't make it. But we'll be on for today, tomorrow, and then on Wednesday, which is the last day of the challenge, I actually have a special piece that I'm going to be introducing this book, and this is how I want people to think about it. And I'm guilty of this too, Patty. Is I go to events, I get very excited, I go home, life gets in the way. Mm-hmm. And then I put the stuff on the shelf, and then it's like, oh yeah, I was supposed to do that, 4 months ago, but it's gone, So I want people to think about this book, as well as my event, as your playbook for the year. So we're going to be doing a monthly book club. So every month I'm going to be coming on and talking about the energies of the month, the dates of the month, the astrology of the month, the universal gateway of the month. So that way you can continue to stay engaged, because that's where you're going to find the success. That is the secret. Stay engaged. If you just come to the event, which is fun, but it's also, this is quite a serious topic. So it's not something that, if you're coming just to find out, if my boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, you would be coming to the wrong event. This is about empowering yourself with tools that the ancients have used for centuries to have power and money. But for us, we're going to be achieving our goals, and you'll feel empowered by integrating these tools into your life.
Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. And I love how you said it's your playbook for the year. I mean, this is the time, right? And again, we sort of get a little reset in February. Is that right?
Little reset in February. And truthfully, we're already here. It's just like, I don't know how much you or your listeners know about astrology, but when you're on the cusp of something, you're already feeling the energy as the other one wanes. So we're going into the ascending energy of the metal ox and the metal rat, and I'm sure many people are saying, "So happy that that's over." And as we adjust, we're gonna do fine.
Oh my gosh, this was so great. Just perfect timing, a great way to start off the new year. Your virtual event begins on January 16th. Is that correct?
That's correct. And it is 11:30 to 5-ish or something on the first day, and then 2 to 5-ish on the next day. And again, get prepared, get your astrology. And oh, you know what? Another thing I forgot to say, and this is really important, is, you know what? Don't just run the charts for yourself, run them also for anyone you're sheltering in place with, your team. And don't forget your frenemies, because those are the people that will probably be the most poking you the most, right? But if you can understand, like, oh, that's why they're acting that way, that'll be a whole different dialogue with them. It's a great communication tool. I use it actually for some of my larger clients for HR to actually look at once they've been hired. They actually have the birth date for legal reasons, and so we actually look to see. You know what? Because you can also see when, a person is going or changing a certain cycle, if you will. So does that mean they're leaving your company, or they're going to be, diving in even deeper, honesty thing? Oh, it's really a fabulous tool for HR.
Oh my gosh, I love this stuff.
I do too.
Any final thoughts you want to leave us with today? Again, Casey's been sharing the link to your Facebook page. We've got the book link in there. The event link should be there as well. So check the comments for links to everything. Any parting words for us today, or something we can do today to maybe prepare for this year?
Yeah.
Well, your book, of course.
Yeah, certainly get the book, but I would say get your collateral ready, as in get a floor plan. And what I need you to do for a floor plan is this: either look on your closing docs if you own the space, or contact your property management if you're renting or leasing. And if they don't have it, you could try, the building departments in your various, counties, countries, etc. And then you can also do old school. Just take out a tape measure and start measuring it. There are apps out there, but honestly, I have not found one that I feel I can recommend. But your space really, again, if you're trying to achieve something big, or even getting back into a new field because of the circumstances that happened last year, then I believe, and I'm telling you, when I came back from Europe, I'm telling you, my face was on the ground. It wasn't to my knees. My face was on the ground, but there was one spark, and I had enough strength to get up and go, you know what? This is not going to take me down. And I turned to Feng Shui, and my life in literally 2 weeks did a 180. And it took me from being like, I don't even know what my next move is, to because I was actually going to go into journalism.
Oh, wow.
I was going to go into journalism, and then I got so intrigued by how this was much more serving of how I could serve a wider audience. So this is the direction I took.
Oh my gosh, Kathleen, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today. Again, just an amazing way to start the new year. It was so wonderful talking to you today, and we just appreciate all the goodness you shared with us. So many good things to plan and prepare for. I can't wait to just dig in.
Well, many blessings to everyone, and seriously, just take a breath. Try to if you can't incorporate all the tools, try at least one. Like I said, just take it a step at a time. And this is a lifelong study. I'm continuing to improve my skill set in this field as well. And I'm at master level. So don't expect to, like, overnight that this is going to just sink in. Just 5 minutes a day will get you there, okay?
Well, that's right. And if you want things to change, you've got to do something different. So this is a really fascinating path to take that's been proven. And I'm just so excited. So I want to wish our audience a happy, healthy, and prosperous 2021. We are all going to make it. We are going to come out stronger than we were. And thank you to all those who tuned in today.